Welcome to our episode 10 of the Project Stardust podcast. You're joined by me, Jordan, and Terry, Christian Terry. We're here to talk about Star Wars, and we had a big weekend this past weekend at D23. It's a lot of news to break down, Terry. So what do you say we jump into it real quick?
Let's do it.
First off, we have Andor. Andor news.
Mm.
I heard Diego Luna came on stage and was talking about the project, just how passionate he is about Cassian Andor, and just excited to put out this project. So, did you hear anything
Yeah.
specifically? I heard a lot of
I
like details from it that I was like, oh, really?
yeah, I heard a lot from his speech too. I thought it was crazy that he said it was basically almost 10 years since he's been Andor, which looking back at it, that's
That's
pretty
right,
crazy.
huh?
Because I saw Rogue One in theaters, so I was like, man, it's almost 10 years. It's scary. But he was
Yeah.
casted 10 years ago for that,
And
so
this is
kind of
this
crazy.
is rumored to come out next year, right? For
Yeah,
the show?
season 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
after
so that's gonna
Skeleton
be
Crew, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. I'm hoping. I had seen that the way they're doing it is that every 3 episodes it's a time jump until it gets to Rogue One. So I thought that was really interesting as well. Um,
It's gonna be a long
yeah,
3 months. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
If
very,
we're, if we're pumping out an episode a week,
yeah, definitely, a bunch of interesting episodes we might see. Very different character changes. I mean, we finally might see who Uncle Pao is because Krennic, the actor Ben
break that down because I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. So there's a theory that the guy, the little dorky cop guy that gets fired in Andor season 1, uh, his mom always refers, hey, like your Uncle Powell got you this job. He's a high-ranking official, so he can get you in this spot on Coruscant. There's a theory that Uncle Powell might be Krennic, which is actually kind of funny. And then who knows? That could be his nickname, his family nickname, Powell or something. But having
I like
Krennic
that
be
theory a
linked to
lot.
that guy, yeah, it would be actually kind of funny if he was linked to it
Connecting
this whole time.
everything.
Very much, yes. So, full circle moment if that is that. Hopefully it is. And then pretty much that. Is there anything else you've heard about the show
So
specifically?
I've been hearing also Diego Luna talk about how when we watch Rogue One again, it's gonna feel like a whole different movie.
Oh, that's gonna be
And
interesting.
watching it, yeah, so he was explaining how even K2SO's
Yeah,
storyline is how he was brought into the group too is gonna be really significant as well. So I was like, whoa, I'm excited to see how
yeah,
this plays out.
that's gonna be dope because I really like Rogue One. I think that's just like a movie that where you watch it and you're like, you hope for the best for them, but they're gonna die. But they did their mission, they did their job, and I don't know. I just think it's a very interesting movie. So now hearing this has me more excited to rewatch it.
Yeah, and like we said when you were mentioning how great of a story it is, it's just seeing
Yeah.
how it played out into A New Hope and
Mm-hmm.
what the significance of the name Rogue One is
Yeah.
uh is awesome.
Definitely.
And with that news, which you brought up with Officer Krennic with the theory, it was nice to hear the actor kind of announcing that he's back as the
Yeah.
character there. So I'm excited too. Uh, I know Jyn Erso's not part of it, but if we saw like just a little Easter egg of her, a little cameo of her doing her
We might.
thing before she meets the group, it'd be
Yeah,
kind of
we
cool.
might. We still need to see how Andor became a rebel assassin, like they said he was. So he's doing these missions and everything, but we're finally going to see the rebellion grow. Because in Andor season 1, I'm under the impression that the rebellion hasn't fully formed. We saw that the senator was trying to find funding to fund that secret project, or not a lot of people were putting it together, but that's the whole purpose why she wanted the money, was to form armies and everything, to get a group going. And then you have that one guy, I forgot that one guy's name, but the guy that finds Andor and everything, who's also rich. He's secretly doing these missions and everything for like the greater good. So it's just really interesting to see all that go down. I don't know. I'm just really interested to see the bigger picture here, and it might make everybody appreciate season 1 more too as well. So we'll see.
I'm just really interested in how they highlighted how we're gonna see Rogue One as a different
Oh yeah,
movie. Like,
and then we're gonna do
what?
the weekly episode reviews. So that's gonna be interesting. So we'll
A
see how that goes
grueling
down.
3 months. I wish it could be cut down,
That's gonna be
condensed
crazy.
in 3 episode weeks or something for the
Oh yeah.
arcs. But it is what it is. We'll be enjoying Star Wars every week from there. hopefully it's coming out early next year after Skeleton Crew, because I heard Skeleton Crew is coming out later this year, right? Or is it early next year?
I think it might be early this year. Yeah, I think you might be right.
Late this year, right? Yeah,
Yeah, it should be. It should be something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
for all we know, yeah, late 2024. Yep.
yeah. So that brings us to our second topic, which
Yeah.
is Skeleton Crew, and that was announced. The trailer was showed. What were your thoughts on that? I saw the leaked trailer last
Yeah,
year.
me
I
too.
forgot where. Do you know where they showed it at?
God, it might have been Comic Con. I could be wrong.
You
It could be
think so?
D23 from last year.
It
I
might
think it
have
was
been
D23
D23, right?
last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because they're finally ready to release this. So we're guessing, it's a whole timeline thing where they want this to maybe add up with the Mandalorian and Grogu kind of situation. Because, it could be an Easter egg that they could be in that show. But to answer your question real quick, that the show's drop date is going to be December 3rd, 2024.
December 3rd,
Early December.
2024.
Yeah, so that's going to be really interesting that we're going to see all that happen.
An 8-episode series, right?
I believe so, yes. And it's
8
interesting
episodes,
too because, we get a Goonies themed looking story. We have a world that looks similar to ours. Sorry,
yeah, very fun adventure. Yeah. It looks like it's gonna be. And I was mentioning to you, I think it's gonna fit seamlessly into this world that they created, especially post Return of the Jedi, where Grogu can mingle with these kids. They seem appropriately the same age. I know he's 50, but mental wise, they're the same age.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, because like the storyline you get and everything, it really does give off a Goonies vibe. You have a civilized world that looks like ours, which is kind of crazy because we haven't seen that in Star Wars yet. But that's really interesting that they have that. I'm nothing against that. I'm excited for the show. It's interesting how the kids are gonna find that secret spot that they're gonna find, and then they end up in space, and they're with that crew, that weird looking crew, and then one of the people there, I forgot his name. Do you remember Hondo? You remember, like Hondo's race, like
pirates,
his group of people. So the pirate guy, he's gonna be in there, but he came on in Mandalorian, season 4.
Oh yeah,
or season.
That's right.
Yeah, season 3. Season 3. My bad. Yeah. So my bad. That was Boba Fett. My fault. But
so it is a season 4.
It is season 4. No. But season 3, yeah, that pirate that they fight, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here," or whatever. He's gonna be in the Skeleton Crew, which is funny. But it just shows that they're gonna be on their ship. We don't know if they're gonna be the villains. We don't know if they're gonna be like, okay, well, I guess the kids are on the ship. We're gonna keep them. They do end up in a jail cell, so it could be their jail cell, which they end up with this mysterious person, Jude Law, and he uses the Force. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think he's a Jedi? Do you think he's just Force sensitive? What do you think?
I think he's a Jedi. He could be.
Think so?
And when we're talking about this world of post Return, there's all these Jedis kind of sprinkled around that are we still have a minimal amount of Jedis, right?
I feel like he'd be older though.
Yeah?
Yeah, you don't think he'd be older? I could be wrong. I don't know, but
could be. No, I mean, we've seen how there's been sprinkles of Force users around the galaxy, so I wouldn't doubt that he's one with the Force as well. But
yeah, I mean,
as you mentioned, I'm curious to see how his backstory turns out to be in the show.
Yeah,
if he even brings it up, or is he going to be this mystery character?
Definitely. And then who knows? He might realize one of the kids might be Force sensitive because there is that girl who's like super adventurous and everything. Who knows? I feel like they're kind of teasing one of these kids are Force sensitive, which would be cool. But
yeah, I'm excited for the show. It seems like its own thing, and we're just gonna dive into another world with a bunch of world building.
Yep. Yeah, more worlds, no more Tatooine, because people love to, complain about Tatooine. So, a brand new planet. What else is there? I don't know. I'm just excited to see what they find, like what the secret is. They keep teasing this big secret, like, oh, there's something that we need to look for, blah, 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 And like what you said, I love the world building, so I'm just really interested to see what they're looking for, what they're trying to find,
You did mention to me in a separate conversation how you believe Mando and Grogu might even show up in this series as well.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. That's why it makes me wonder why they delayed it for so long. It could be for that reason. But at the same time,
they're gonna get their own episode, like in Boba Fett.
God, I mean, I kind of hope they do it better than the Boba Fett one, because instead they gave Mando like his whole freaking episode on that one, Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping with this one they have Mando and Grogu pop up and they help them. They help these
Just
kids maybe
integrating
escape.
in their story versus their own episode.
Yeah,
Like it's their
yeah.
show.
Like it just starts off with them, and it's like, oh, let's go look for these kids, and it's like, okay, so like I'd rather it be like a real cameo where they just pop up and we see the kids' reaction, like, oh, who are you?
Yeah.
That'd be more interesting to me.
Another big topic that they did announce at D23, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau showed up talking about the Mando and Grogu movie that's going to be coming out soon. 2026, not relatively soon, but soon.
They're filming it, though.
They're filming it.
At the El Segundo spot. Woo woo.
Did you see any particular shots of the set on El Segundo? What were they doing?
No, but it's online. They're saying that it's online, that they're filming there and everything. There is no other spot known except for that spot there, because they say that's where they've been doing what's the word, like compound photography or critical photography or something like that. I don't know the correct set term, but they already started doing all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was in an article I saw online. I read it. It was like a news one. It wasn't like a Twitter one or nothing. But that they released the trailer during that big presentation they had, and it leaked, so we were able to see it. I know I was. I'm thinking you were too, right? Were you able to watch it? Yeah. No, so it was interesting. I mean, obviously it starts off with Zeb, and Zeb's there, and he's just like, "Hey, what's up?" From Rebels.
Yeah, so big announcements that Zeb is part of the movie there. So seeing him part of the world is great. When we saw him in season 3, it was nice seeing him there. Even if it was with all the CGI.
Yeah, no,
it looked really good.
Yeah, he looked really good. I didn't picture. I couldn't even imagine. Like, oh, how are they going to do it? Like, that seems so hard, and they did it. He looks good. I'm like, I am for that. Like, he looks amazing. So I'm all with it. If they want to continue CGI, I'm cool with it, because their CGI actually doesn't look bad at all, except for like Marvel. But the trailer was cool. We got to finally see the Hoth troopers from the Empire, because they're still fighting the Empire soldiers. Because in the trailer, it sounds like Mandalorian's going back to his roots with Grogu, and he's just like, we need some bounties. We need to start making money now, kind of thing.
I mean, I'm interested to see what their outpost is there on Hoth.
It is. No, me too. But you know what? I'm kind of worried. My initial worry is that I thought Thrawn was going to be this big bad. He was going to be the main villain. He still could be. But I thought we were going to see him in the trailer and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're hiding him because of Ahsoka Season 2 is coming out before the movie, or he's not going to be the big bad. And it's going to be like, it's going to be getting Moff Gideon.
Are we really getting Ahsoka before the movie too?
I think so. I don't know. I could be wrong. Could be very much wrong. But like,
I'm just saying that'd be awesome.
Do they really want to save Thrawn for like Mando? I mean, or I would just want the whole team up to happen. Really, like I feel like you would need everybody against a big person like Thrawn, especially if he has an army of the dead with witches utilizing them, and he's going back to Dathomir. So maybe
I thought this movie was the the whole build up to what this world building of all these different shows was going to be anyway, right?
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was the initial plan as well. Yeah, I'm just worried. Like I said, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a teaser, and it is what they filmed. Obviously they're not going to show the big bad right away.
Yeah. So
who knows?
To that point, I heard Dave talking about how what the footage they pulled is just from what they were basically starting off filming already. So they just started filming. So whatever they showed was just what they shot.
Barely started. Yeah. All right. So who knows? I'm kind of hoping we get that big giant team up, that Avengers level team up. That's the only really thing I can say. I mean, and then we'll see if we get a Luke and Leia involved in there, or a Han and Chewbacca, and then we'll see if they're going to be CGI'd or something.
I'm interested just because I feel like with this movie, they're going to take less of a time to film it versus the show. So are we just going to be sitting on a project for a minute? I mean, regardless, if you film for the next year until July, it's that's 12 months, and you'll be 12 months post production for the movie.
It's pretty crazy.
So I don't know, unless they're like you said, they're just waiting to put all these other different pieces from different series on before the movie.
I mean, like I said, we haven't heard anything about Ahsoka Season 2 too, so that's what worries me as well, because I'm hoping it comes out.
I'm hearing small things, how they were filming either this month, August, or September.
Of Ahsoka?
Because, correct, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, you know how the Star Wars news is. It's not very
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Sometimes it's like very down low key.
Very down low. It's all about them leaks.
So it was interesting to me because I saw in the YouTube videos how Hayden, Rosario, and Dave were doing a lot of press stuff. And it
Yeah.
was because it seemed that they were jumping into shooting soon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I did see something like that. You're right. Because everybody was like, "Oh, because he's gonna get ready to film Fantastic Four and stuff." So like, they need to hurry up about his schedule and everything too.
Oh, Pedro?
So, yeah, Pedro's. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, because he's like the most busiest one out of the whole group. So,
yeah.
so
And I
he,
thought we got reassurance hearing his voice in the trailer. Did we hear his voice?
I don't. You know what? Yeah, we did. We did. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Because
okay.
he's the one that says that like we need to go back to doing bounties and blah blah. He tells
Yeah.
Zeb
Oh,
that.
okay.
So
That's right.
I'm
I am
hoping
interested.
that too.
Yeah, and
Go
I'm
ahead.
interested to see if he takes off his helmet. Like you said, is
Mm.
he gonna have enough time to, be at the different set locations or just film his voice recordings?
We'll see. We will see because yeah, definitely that man is a very busy man, and props to Disney for not caring, but like that's kind of crazy to not take that in consideration. How this guy's also like your goat goose for the Mandalorian show, so
Yeah.
using him for Marvel, making him one of the most important characters for Marvel, and then making him one of the most important characters for um, Star Wars. It's kind of a hard thing to
All
balance,
these
even though three
different
people play Mando.
franchises.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like damn, this just kind of sucks. But yeah, my only concern is I hope Thrawn is a villain. I hope we have everybody come back. I hope this threat is as big as they made it seem in Ahsoka, because this guy can literally bring back the dead, which is pretty terrifying. Because the dead can eat a lightsaber like nothing, like freaking Riva. It's like nothing to them. So, it's I don't know. I'm just excited. We'll see where it goes though.
Did you want to bring up the Lego news as
I
well?
did. Yeah, I thought this was some funny news to share, but they basically announced that there's going to be a Lego 4-part like series slash movie where it's like an alternate universe, and there's going to be a Darth Jar Jar. They brought back a bunch of actors, which I think is hilarious, to play themselves, and yeah, I just think it's funny news to share because Legos are funny, and Legos have become such a very big thing recently, like the past 5 years, especially because of the pandemic. Everybody was at home doing nothing. So now that they have Legos, they're like, okay, let's capitalize off this. And then because they're making this like special movie series or whatever, they're coming out with these boxes that has these figures. Obviously you buy the pack, it comes with like the minifigures. So there's a pretty big one right now that has a Darth Jar Jar because that's like the main villain of the series and movies. And like a lot of people are going crazy for that one. I don't know if it's dropped yet, but I do remember seeing the price. It was like $225, $240 for this figure. Or not just the figure alone, it comes with the set, but then there's also the figure that comes with the set. And I don't know, I just think it's funny. I think it's actually kind of smart because if you look at like the market right now, even alone, like the original Lego figures are selling a lot. Because I know Lego now is like, oh, I guess this is what we're gonna do. They have like these little figurine things to that you put them in that you like show off like, okay, these are my figurines collected, look like little
Mhm.
suits and stuff. So a lot of people have been collecting them, and then a lot of people, if you look on eBay, there's just like a really big market for it, which I think is really funny. Because I never grew up playing with Legos, but I don't know, did you ever play Legos, anything
I
like that?
did. I don't feel
Okay.
like I played with a lot of Star Wars Legos though when I
Yeah,
was
same
growing
here.
up. Maybe
Yeah,
because it
yeah.
was out
So
of our price range though,
they were pretty expensive then. I mean,
right?
even now, like it's insane how much people spend now. But they become so popular again recently, especially with all these special characters, and then seeing that there's a market for it. Whenever there's a market for something, everyone's gonna capitalize off of it. And I know Lego, even though they already have their own land and everything, they work really well with Disney because for example, you got the Lego store in downtown Disney in Anaheim, but them being able to partner up basically with Disney and everything, making this show and then selling those figures and everything. I think it's just really smart marketing. I don't know.
No, I agree.
Whole tangent
Eh,
off Legos, but it's just funny.
no, I mean it's a big announcement there, and I feel like Legos has been a big part of the Star
Yeah.
Wars community for a while. Even
Yeah.
when after post Revenge of the Sith, where we didn't have any Star Wars projects, it was like, hey, there's these Lego Star Wars
It's
projects that
true.
you guys could have, and all these Lego pieces you could play with. So
Yep.
as comedic as it can be, I feel like it's a big integral part of the Star Wars community, in my opinion.
uh, No, that's
So
true. That's fair. Yeah, that's what I
we'll
feel
be
too. I'm
watching
like,
it. We'll be seated. We'll be
yeah,
watching it. Don't
yeah,
worry about
definitely.
it. We'll be talking about it. It's gonna
Yep,
be funny.
it is
In
indeed.
other news concerning the parks, as you mentioned, we are
Mm-hmm.
getting an update to Smuggler's Run. We are getting the
Uh,
Mandalorian and Grogu story coming to Millennium. Wow,
yeah, that's gonna be
how we
cool.
feeling?
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I'm glad that they're like, updating that, right? Because you already have Star Tours getting updated, so it's only fair that you have Smuggler's Run get updated as well. It's really interesting to see that. And it's really good for like the newer generation too, like the kids who are growing up on Mandalorian and Grogu, even the adults, because the adults love Mandalorian and Grogu as well. So it's just really cool to see. What do you think about it? How do you
I don't
feel?
know. I'm very passionate about the parks in general, so
Okay.
I've religiously gone to Smuggler's Run every time I do make a Disney trip, crashing the Millennium
Yeah,
Falcon as we
like
go.
dropping the Coraxium.
Yeah, I've seemed to notice that there's a gimmick to it. There's no way you could safely land that thing or drive that,
There isn't.
not drive that thing, fly that
It's
thing.
in.
Sorry,
Yeah. No,
but
it's true,
I
man.
think this is gonna be really fun, especially in the post. Isn't that? Yeah, how does
Post
that
Jedi
work?
Return of the Jedi. No, no,
Yeah,
no. It
would it
works.
be?
I
Yeah,
thought about
he's
it too.
right. It would be
No, no. I
post
thought
Return of the Jedi. We're not. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
in
Post
Beta
Return.
Two
It's okay.
anymore,
Post Return of the Jedi, because and then obviously Rey's there, so you're like, oh, okay, well, or not Rey. We
right?
don't know if Rey's there.
Yeah,
Never
that's
mind.
what I'm saying. I
You're
just
good.
I thought
Yeah.
about that as I was saying that, but
When we were
maybe
bringing
it's
this up, I
different.
thought about it instantly too, and I was like, I think we're okay because it's in the okay set. There's no like weird time difference, So you're good. Trust me. I thought the exact same thing that you're thinking. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, does
Well,
this
they
mess?
could, like as you mentioned with all the bounties and stuff that they're handling right now, people wanted them to go back to their bounty ways. I
Yeah,
think it fits well in the story. We're just trying to get another score,
yeah, definitely,
Make it
especially with Hondo.
make a little cheddar, like a little
Yeah,
make a little money
with
right
that
there.
with that crook Hondo, so that'd be cool. Nah, but yeah, overall, no, it's gonna be good. It's gonna work out. It's gonna be a good ride.
I think it's gonna be so much more personal too, just because I feel like people have grown so close to this Grogu character in general. So seeing
Definitely.
him flying with him would be comedic and just memorable.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
hoping that they add more Mandalorian stuff in their stores too, though. I feel like there's some lacking.
Yeah.
Little off tangent for the park, but I'm kind of hoping we get some
No, no,
Macrons,
no. It's
man.
all part of it
I
too.
want some Grogu Macrons, like that one episode when he's back to school. He's eating them
Oh
cookies and
yeah.
stuff. Start
Yeah,
selling
yeah.
that, Disney. That's free marketing right there. Come on, like. But nah, either way, it'll be cool. It'll be dope. I mean, they already have Mandalorian and Grogu walking around the parks there now, so I think that's amazing. They look great. I've seen them twice, and I'm just so shocked
No,
how
you're
they
right.
look. And then,
Um, yeah, concerning the ride though, I'm just very excited because like I've mentioned, I've rode that ride religiously, so every time I go on it, it's kind of a different experience.
yeah,
And it's so nice to see all the different visitors from around the world ride this ride, and
mm-hmm,
they're like, "How do you drive this thing?" And like their own respective accents and where they're from,
yeah,
and then they're with their
nah,
families, their kids, their parents. Like, what are you doing? So
yeah, yeah,
it's really nice to just be you
yeah.
know, step away
Experience
from
that.
it. Yeah, and
See
see
them, see
other
them
people
all freak
experience
out.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just excited for all the memories and all the memories that everyone else is gonna have. So I think
Yeah,
it's gonna be really great.
definitely. Yeah, like Star Wars is just worldwide, and then especially now that they're making these good shows. I don't know how to question that, but obviously they are making them good shows. Everyone
Yeah.
loves Mandalorian and Grogu. You can't really fumble that. Maybe last season was a little iffy, but either way, Mandalorian and Grogu are those guys. I sad to say this, but like to me, they're the face of Star Wars right now. I'm not,
They are.
they are like they're the
That
new
was too.
generation of Star Wars.
It was
Like,
just too big of a hit to hide away from.
nah, man, they should have made him the Jedi in the movies, man. Nah, but either way, still dope. I'm excited to see where everything's gonna go, everywhere where everything's gonna be. Yeah, no, I'm just excited, hyped.
Yeah, and in our last set of news, though, I did want to bring this up. It's the Star Wars Clone Wars lightsaber hilt set. I just sent this to
Oh,
you, so I was like, oh, we need to talk about this just because it was at D23. I guess they were selling it there. I didn't hear any news about this. It was selling for
man,
$500, 550 actually. It was sold out. I heard they made 5,000 of these sets, and only 100 are signed by all three actors who voice
Jesus.
Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan respectively.
Man, I am so sad about that because these look amazing. This is a great box. This is a great collector's item. It's so weird that they
Right?
don't really show this off. I mean, they keep it really down low. I mean, I get it. If you're at D23, get it. You know, you're there. That's worth it. You paid for it. You get all the exclusive stuff. But as for the people online, how the hell? How do people know that this is online? You know, it's not like there's someone on every online like, oh, hey, this just dropped on Shop Disney. I feel like Shop Disney's marketing is kind of bad, in my opinion. Like the Star Wars Day thing, right? I try to copy, those special Starbucks, little tumblers.
Mugs or
And
tumblers?
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, the tumblers. I was able to get the mugs, but the tumblers themselves, all the they sold out of the ones I wanted, and all they had left was Hoth. And I was like, I'm not really feeling Hoth. I wanted the other one. But it's just crazy how their drops are. But this is such an amazing collector's item, especially if you're one of the lucky 100 that got all three of the voice actors from Clone Wars to sign that. Like, that's just amazing. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's crazy, and you needed a D23 account in order to cop this in general, anyway. So
We need to look this up.
did
We're
it,
gonna
then
go
did it.
next year for the content. We're gonna go next year
We gotta
because
go next year. I think didn't it sell out though when we were thinking about it?
it did. But you know what it is? I think you need to pay to be a D23 member. I could be wrong. If anybody knows in the comments, help us out. But
Wait,
from looking online,
you can't
you
get
can't
a
what?
ticket without being a D23 member?
Yeah, I think you have to pay like a yearly due. I could be wrong, but when I looked up
Wow.
tickets, it says, "Oh, D23 membership. Here's for tickets for this." So I mean, I don't know. Is it worth it? It could very much be because I have friends that went. They went to like, because now that Disney's partnered with Hulu and they own Fox and everything, dude, they had a free signing of all the Futurama cast. You got a free poster. You walk away getting it all signed and everything.
So they
There
had
is a
all the
free
different
yeah
partners
shows. Dude, they had like
there?
Grey's Anatomy there. It's just hilarious.
Really?
Like, yeah, Grey's Anatomy was all there, bro. Oh my god. And then they had Manny Jacinto signing for
Oh,
free
I
for
saw
like an
that.
hour and a
I saw
half.
that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, dude, like you don't say nothing. Like, so this is like all on the down low. Like you gotta be a member for this.
I guess
And
you're right. I was seeing videos of people going through the convention, and there were just so many different properties there from different movies.
it's
Oh, this is not
insane.
even Disney. Why is this
Yeah.
here?
There's a movie. There's a movie studio. What is this? The
Yeah.
because even then too, like there's this thing that I wanted to show you. God, I don't know if I could find it really quick, but yeah, like I said, my friend. Oh no, damn it, it disappeared. No, my friend had went and I have a group of friends that go to this D23 event, and they post everything. They were posting what they saw, the different panels that they had for shows, the different like special lands. It's really becoming its own Comic Con, but it's crazy because it's kind of funny because Disney owns everything. like like as much as like that sounds like a joke, it's becoming realistic that you
It's
really
real.
do own everything. So
They
so
own
when you go,
everything.
you're like, oh, this is part of Disney. I didn't know. Like Grey's Anatomy, you're like, oh, I guess ABC. Yeah, and then you see Futurama, and you're like, oh yeah, they bought Fox. And then you see like Abbott Elementary, like they have their own land too, and the whole cast was there doing free signings and stuff as well. And then
They had their
the bear
own
was there. They had a special like free thing where you got a free hat and free pins and everything. Like it's
at
insane.
D23.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, okay, so I'm hoping next year it's like all Star Wars out and like we get free Star Wars stuff and things. I've never been to
Trip.
Comic Con. It seems like I would love Comic Con, but I need to try out this D23 because it seems really interesting. It seems more accessible too,
Mhm.
less chaotic because it seems like they really gatekeep that membership too as well. So
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I didn't even know about any of this that you're mentioning right
telling you,
now.
that's an
That's crazy.
investment we need to make.
Well, we are wrapping up to the end of our show. Is there anything else you'd like to just throw out there before we close up on things? I mean, it was a pretty good weekend of news. Not as much
Yeah,
as we wanted, but we still got some
no.
news that we had.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be slow for a little bit of weeks until we start getting content. Maybe video game reviews might come out from us of the new game. Who knows? Yeah,
Even your
nothing
Lego,
really.
the Lego
Oh
show you
God, I don't
mentioned
know if I
coming
want to
up.
review that. I
Oh
don't.
no, we
I
are,
just
man.
wanted
We
to.
are.
Oh God. All right,
We
so I
are.
guess we're doing that too. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but I think that wraps up on things. Again, a good weekend on content, and even for all the Disney properties that they were announcing as well during that time. So
Everything. Yeah,
yeah,
that
really happy
Fortnite Disney
weekend.
collab. It's
Yeah,
crazy. All
really,
right.
really hefty weekend and uh, very proud moment to be a Disney fan if you are one. So yeah, that wraps up things. We've been you've been hosted by us, Jordan and Terry, Christian Terry here. So it's been a pleasure. Again, thanks for taking your time to watch us. And again, we'll be back next week for another episode for you to tune into. So thank you for getting through us with 10 episodes. We have more coming, and we're gonna endlessly nonstop keep going. So thank you so much for your support, and we're out.